This is Dave Steen with 5-Star Co-op, and I just want to talk a little bit this morning about early season weed control and some things we want to consider. We're a little ahead of time right now as far as when we're doing this video, and it's a little wet outside, but the weather will turn and we'll get to the field. And one of the first jobs that I would recommend a person does is to go out and actually scout your fields, in particular those areas where you know you have some giant ragweed pressure. Giant ragweed is one of the earliest germinating weeds. It will handle the cold weather, so it'll get up and growing before most anything else. Now, the reason I want to scout for those weeds in particular is if you do have a lot of pressure and you're in a no-till situation in particular, you need to get those taken care of, and you may need to change your herbicide program. The other choice is if you are doing full tillage, that's a good way to kill weeds. But if they're bigger than we expected, one tillage pass with, say, a field cultivator may not really take that weed out and kill it. You may have to double till that area to get a good weed kill if you're using tillage. It's really important that we get a good weed kill, have a clean soil to start with, so that we give our herbicide program the best chance to control weeds and give us a good crop yield overall. We talk about weed size a lot of times, and we always want to be like 4-inch tall weeds or less. Just as a reference, this highlighter is a little over 4 inches. It's almost 5. So we don't want any weed that big when we get out there and get started. So that just gives you a little ballpark on what to look for. The other thing I want to talk about, many people use an incorporated herbicide program, and they want to work that herbicide, that chemical, into the soil. Now, that's a great program. It helps kind of weatherproof our program a little bit, but we have to watch the depth that we're incorporating the herbicide into. Our weeds germinate in the top 1 to 2 inches. So we want to keep the majority of the herbicide in that top 2-inch layer. That means you do tillage a maximum of 4 inches to keep the herbicide in the top 2. Again, looking at the highlighter, we want to till this depth so we can keep the herbicide in that part of the soil. We want the top 2 inches to have the main part of the herbicide to get the weed kill that we're looking for. So I would suggest you go out in your field and you need to look from the top of the ridge to the valley and make sure we're not over that 4 inches type of depth so you can get the herbicide in the top 2 inches as you want it. There's other things we'll be looking at in the spring, a lot of it after we're planted and the herbicide's applied. We'll be catching up with those things at a later time. If you have questions about either of these, feel free to reach out to your 5-Star Agronomist, and they'll help you through and have a successful start to your spring. Thank you.